What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. Dude, did you watch the ESPYs the other night?
I did not. I seen one part of Anthony Mackie talking about Trae Young's hair, and that was it.
Yo, did you see the joint about what he said about Ben Simmons?
I didn't.
Okay.
I have to watch it.
Can I tell you what he said?
You can say it, and I'm not gonna listen because I want to.
Okay,
so you can say it for the people.
Okay, well, I for the people out there who didn't see the ESPY, because Philly, Trae, and Ben Simmons, we our relationship's kind of bad right now. Anthony Mackie gets up on that joint and says Ben Simmons took home a special ESPY for his humanitarian work for building orphanages with his playoff bricks. I was like, yo, Captain America ain't do that. Captain America ain't do that, but don't worry, I'm done now, Prime. Prime, you still there?
Are you done yet?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
I took my headphones out.
Yeah, I'm done. Okay, but overall, so the ESPYs was last night, and everybody knows, that's the sports awards, stuff like that, and if it just so happens that WWE finally got a category.
They had it last year.
Oh, it had last year? Because I know it's still recent that it just came back. Yeah. So they had the best WWE moment, and then they had a lot of things that was nominated. Of course, Roman Reigns, Edge.
What was all nominated?
Say what?
What was all nominated? Do you know?
Okay, so I know when it came to best WWE moment, I know it was Bianca Belair winning the Royal Rumble. It was Edge returning. It was Roman Reigns coming back. It was
it was Edge returning for 2020 and for 2021, not 2020.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was that, and what else?
Wait a minute. Why did they do the ESPYs in the middle of the year for 2020?
Look, to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. And of course, Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks' main event in WrestleMania obviously was one. And so those were the ones I can remember off the top of my head that were nominated. So Bianca got nominated twice. Yeah. And so the winners, it came Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks won for being for main event WrestleMania and being the first black woman to main event WrestleMania in history. Huge accomplishment that was made by them. They were both there at the ESPYs, to accept it. I
still don't know if I really like the announcement of it.
What you mean?
But I like the moment.
What you mean?
Like they try to overly make it big. It's important. They should have been doing this. Well, yes, let's give us a clap on the hand for actually finally letting women compete in the main event and black women. So that's what I feel like they're trying to do.
So you're saying, basically you're saying that WWE kind of like sponsored this thing up. You're saying, or wanted to get the
They wanted to get the pat on the back.
The pat on the back. Oh yeah, of course.
Because look, it's a big moment. It's a huge moment, and I know that. But the way that they make it seem it don't feel genuine sometimes.
Sometimes it don't. I'll give you that. You know me. I will give you that. The reason why I'm happy for this one, because WWE can try to take all the credit they want to. I'm glad they got to shine at the ESPYs. I'm glad that, and I'm glad that it wasn't just a regular WWE moment that we've seen in wrestling all the time. And yes, you are right. 2021, we should have been had black women main event. We should have been had women main event. You know, we should have. This shouldn't still be a new chapter, but unfortunately, it is.
Yeah, I mean, let's just be honest. Going into WrestleMania 32, we already knew nobody wanted to see Triple H and Roman. We already knew everybody wanted to see Sasha, but I digress.
I mean, I get you, but that's just how things are. So I'm saying, so you gotta have that little bit of build up and stuff like that to get those kind of victories. And this right here is definitely going to be a victory in our book because of what these women accomplished. Because here's the thing. It would have been different. I'm going to be honest with you. It would have been different if they just put Sasha and Bianca in the main event. The match sucked. And if the match sucked and they did not live up to the expectations of that match, or it ended with a roll up, you know what I'm saying? Or it's just like they botched too many moves and they was out there too nervous. But then they tried to hype this thing up as, we had black women in the main event, and then, they made history. And I'm like, yeah, but that's all smoke and mirrors, because y'all want that pat on the back because everything else sucked. But that's not the case. They main evented, and they were, you can make an argument, the best night or the best match on both shows. Mm-hmm. You can make an argument that that was the best match in night one, or just that was one of the top two matches at WrestleMania. And we're not just saying that because it's Bianca and Sasha. We're saying that because we've seen two women go up in there and bust their ass.
Not even two women, just two wrestlers.
Yeah, well, we see two wrestlers who love the craft that they do. Go in there and bust their ass. That just so happen to be women. That just so happen to be black.
I think that's what I would say. It's not just because they're women and not just because they're black. They're wrestlers that just so happen to be black women. But on WWE's, the way that they spin it is now we are black women wrestlers. Because they opportunities are short. So
I mean, I
sometimes I see stuff that they do, and I was like, they just really desperately want a pat on the back, and it just don't seem genuine to me. Especially knowing Vince McMahon and knowing how he is of racial stuff. Sometimes it always seems like a pat on the back to me.
I mean, I get.
You know what? This is all Greg. Speaking of pat on the back, why does Jackson Record still have a job? Why is he a babyface?
Oh, please.
Because why? If you talk about all this progressive stuff, and then this guy is the good guy. He's the good guy. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't get certain things because I think he's doing all the things he can for us. I don't think this guy's going to sell no money like that. And then when you get on, and see, the question is nobody. We all know what he is. Who's going to buy stuff from him?
I'm just the ones who feel the way he do. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, when it comes to the live crowd is going to let you know how they feel about this guy or not.
Uh-huh.
And the biggest testimony to that was what happened with Hulk Hogan at this past WrestleMania. They booed. This is fucking Hogan.
He's always been. I don't say he's always been booed since maybe 2013, 14. He's been getting booed.
When Hogan first came back after the whole debacle, right? Mm-hmm. When Hogan first came back, they cheered that man. The Hogan fans cheered that man because they felt as though he was coming back and he was being forgiven, and then they realized that Hogan's full of shit. Mm-hmm. Okay, so then, and then on top of that, to add insult to injury, they put him out there with Titus O'Neil. So then when they was out there in the live crowd up there in Florida, and they was like, you know what, man, fuck him. It really all depends on, because sometimes you get tired of that shit, and you know why WWE is doing it. You know why Vince is doing. Hogan and Titus as the host. Come on now, you know what that was about. They wanted Hogan, out of all people, to get the Titus rub. Said never, ever in wrestling history.
If you wanted to get Hogan over, they should have had like NWO be the host or something. But people would cheer the NWO. But you gonna put Hogan and Titus up? All right, we get on the wrong thing. My bad. Sorry.
No. Look, everything, I get what you're saying. I support what you're saying. So don't think I don't sympathize with what you're saying. But the reason why this thing feels different to me is because of how much these women bust their ass in that matchup. It was a genuinely good. Mm-hmm. It was a genuinely good match. It was a great match. And if somebody was to put it as their match of the year for 2021, I'm not mad at them. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. It's going to be in the category. If this match was like Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker for WrestleMania 30, like, that match was garbage. Or how about this? Undertaker versus Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 33. Okay, so remember, the moment was he retired, and they kept building up that moment when he put the hat stuff in the ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know why? That's all they didn't talk about, because the match was ass. The match was trash. It was one of the worst main events in WrestleMania history, and that's the problem. So now, if they was to go around to ESPN or Sports Center, well, same shit, or Undisputed, or whatever the case may be, and at the ESPYs, and they said, moment of the year, Roman Reigns and Undertaker, because Undertaker just, so-called quotations, retired. That right there,
I think in that position, WWE would have spent it and just had Undertaker retirement be the moment and not the match.
Exactly, but see what I'm saying? That right there, to me, is the pat on the back. Because nothing about that match deserves that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
The difference between Bianca and Sasha is that they went out there, they had a damn good match in front of a crowd because the crowd helped. Bianca won the championship. She was genuinely overcome with emotion. Sasha was genuinely overcome with emotion. These women, when they was in the ring, knowing that they was creating history, like even before the match started, Bianca Belair was crying. I was just like, yo, you gotta get together, sis, because we gotta do this. And Sasha had to look away like, yo, don't get me to crying right now. We got business to take care of. Because if we fail at this, remember, they will come down on black women harder than anybody else.
Mm-hmm. And
if they fail at this, they will not get this opportunity again.
I think they would have still got it again, even though they did deliver. I still think they still would have got it, because they showed time and time again that they are capable of it. Sometimes nerves do get in the way, but I think they would have got an opportunity eventually.
Eventually, but see, that's the thing. Why do we have to wait for eventually? Because eventually is how we still doing this in 2021. Because eventually is going to get there. But this thing should be happening more common and more often. So with that being said, and then all the history that's happened between them, this is a genuine moment for them, and they look genuinely happy at the ESPYs, because like, hey, it kind of felt like we were celebrating black women all through the ESPYs yesterday anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And even that speech, what's homegirl's name? I'm trying to look her up right now.
Who?
The one who won Female College Basketball Player of the Year.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, she. Oh no, yeah. The best college athlete, women's sports. Paige Burkers for UConn basketball. If when you go back and listen to it, she made a speech, and she thanked everybody. You know, the traditional thank God, her family. But she said in her speech, she talked about how black women in this sport are not. They don't pay no attention to these women, and how I'm part of a sport that is the majority black, but yet their accomplishments are always hidden behind white women. She stood up for us.
Yep.
And when I say us, I mean as black people, I'm saying, but she stood up for black women in her speech, and it was a nice speech. I went back and listened to it, and it was nice, and it just for them to be celebrating all that, and it's like, and I think Triple H genuinely is happy, because those are his kids. Those are his NXT kids.
Mm-hmm.
it's like, I don't care what Stephanie got to say. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what Stephanie got to say, and I damn sure don't care. All Vince cared about is the publicity. But I think when it came to the moment, it was a good moment for the culture, good moment for the women, good moment for WWE in general, because they needed one. But I think from the parties involved, that it was a genuinely happy time. That's why I said, after what happened at the ESPYs, it ain't no way it can't be Sasha and Bianca. Cause I thought they was gonna put Sasha in the Money in the Bank, but it looks like they just gonna just straight out put Sasha in the match with Bianca. Why not? If these women draw money, why not do it again?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So
I mean, I thought initially when they had the match at WrestleMania that the rematch was going to be at SummerSlam anyway.
Yeah, but see, I thought they was going to do the whole fight 14 times. So by the time SummerSlam comes, it'll feel dry. But they haven't touched since WrestleMania.
No, Sasha's been gone. So that's why I think she's going to come back on maybe the SmackDown with fans, the first one where she fights Carmella, or the week after.
Yeah, she's going to come back, and it's going to. I thought they were going to make her win Money in the Bank. I was like, if you put her in Money in the Bank, it's going to be too damn obvious. She got to win. If you put her in Money in the Bank, it's too damn obvious. But so now I think it's going to just hold it off, and they're going to be like, all right, we're going to have a Raw superstar win it, and then, or maybe Becky takes the spot and she wins it, and she goes face for. I don't know how it's going to go, but yeah. I just wanted to make sure that we give our black women some love and give them the roses, because that's what we need to do.